Both sets of players out on the field then ahead of this South Yorkshire derby at the Keynote Stadium. Ben Whiteman, of course, as always, leads Rovers out. Ian Lawler back between the posts for Rovers. Senny Dieng drops to the substitutes bench. A quick reminder of the two starting 11s. Rotherham with Lewis Price in goal. A back four of Olasunde, Ihekwe, Wood and Robertson. Lindsay, Wiles and McDonald in the three-man midfield, with Hastie, Ladapo and Morris as the front three. On the bench, Bilbo, Mattock, Thompson, Barlaser, Crooks, Smith and Lamey. Rovers, three changes from the win against Lincoln on Tuesday night. Ian Lawler, John Taylor and Keziah Sterling all come in. Dieng, Sadlier and Ennis drop to the bench. In full, it's Ian Lawler in goal, a back four of Halliday, Anderson, John and James. Whiteman and Sheaf, the two Bens in holding midfield roles, with Taylor, Coppinger and May just behind Keziah Sterling up top. On the bench, Dieng, Sadlier, Amos, Blair, Blaney, Longbottom and Ennis. And both sets of players ready for this one. John Taylor in particular, I'm sure more than most will be up for this. He mentioned for the programme interview, John Taylor, that he thrives on this sort of occasion, and whether the Rotherham fans boo him or not, he's going to try and perform his best, and if he scores or does anything which has an impact on this game, I'm sure he'll let them know about it. Rotherham end to our left, packed out with supporters, around 3,500 or so of those, and I'm sure there'll be a battle off the field as well. Both teams, both sets of fans trying to out-sing each other as this one goes on. Rovers against Rotherham the last time they were in League One, in fact led for the most part of both games and somehow came out of it with only 1 point from 6, which is a weird circumstance. As we said earlier on though, Joe, when a lot of players change between the 2 years, that's all, it can get forgotten about fairly quickly. Yeah, but like I said, the atmosphere and the sheer numbers of the fans in the ground will make the players aware that this is a big game and one that will be very important to the fans. Yeah, the pre-match coin toss underway. The Rovers just heading to pre-match huddle, as Rotherham do as well. What sort of things being said in there now ahead of a Yorkshire derby? Who'll be taking the lead? Is it just your captain in Ben, or will there be other big voices in there? Yeah, it'll be Ben. He'll be in the huddle now, just telling the boys, look, it's just a normal game. We carry on playing the way we have been playing, and we look to start bright and really dominate the game. So just a little reminder to the lads of how well we've done this season so far. This game about to get underway then. Ian Lawler makes his way back to his goal line, cheered on by those Rovers supporters behind that goal. It looks like Rovers are going to get this one underway. Alfie May has the ball on his feet in the centre circle. Rovers looking to make it 5 unbeaten at the start of this season. It'll be the first time since 1995-96 season which Darren Moore was playing in the centre half for Rovers that season, so it's ironic, isn't it? Alfie May about to get this one underway, then rolls it back to Ben Whiteman, who lifts it upfield. John Taylor chasing, goes up. Yeah, Rotherham win it though. Sheaf now back to Tom Anderson inside the Rovers half. Ian Lawler gets his first touch of the ball nice and early. Here's Cameron John, who's joint top scorer for Rovers this season with 2 goals. It was a poacher's finish on Tuesday night, wasn't it? It fell in off the goal line. Coppinger with that header. Whiteman with a header there. Alfie May will give chase against Ihekwe. Can he try and turn inside there? Tries to lay it off towards Whiteman, but Rotherham come away with it. Ladapo lays it off. Alpha to give chase down this near side. It's Wiles doing it. Opposite number Whiteman just got his body in front and allowed that to drift out for a Rovers throw. Reece James, this near side, will take. It's a breezy day, isn't it? Blustery. I'm sure that'll have an impact as well. Rotherham like to get the ball from back to front very quickly. Whiteman with the ball upfield. Sterling will give chase. Ihekwe clears up the touchline. Rovers throwing again in front of the 2 dugouts this time. Long throw from James and Sterling wins the header. Sean McDonald clears. John steps in. James round the corner now to May, who looks to take it away from Ihekwe but just loses out, and Ihekwe then wins a free kick for Rotherham midway inside their own half. Richard Wood, experienced campaigner for Rotherham, former Sheffield Wednesday man, just allows his goalkeeper Lewis Price to take. The usual goalkeeper Everson's been called up by Denmark, on loan from Leicester. He's been a mainstay for Rotherham so far this season, but they've been forced into a change there. That ball up towards Morris, headed away by John, only as far as the edge of the area though, and now it's a chance here for Hestley on the left-hand side. It's only just signed from Rangers rather on deadline day. Brad Halliday concedes a throw-in on that far side. Lindsay. Robertson now back to Aheka on halfway. Sterling looks to put the pressure on, and it's a long diagonal from Aheka. Reece James, I think he got a shout from Ian Lawler, judging by the goalkeeper's reaction to him heading that away, but here he comes down the left-hand side now. Reece James, Coppinger and acres of space in the middle of the Rotherham half. Instead he goes left to May, who's got Whiteman for support, and here is the Rovers captain, looks to switch the play out right, and now Halliday tries to play it to Taylor. Here's John Taylor. Boos immediately coming from the away end. Halliday tries to nod that into the path of Taylor, who hadn't continued his run, and the ball drifts out of play for a Rotherham goal kick. But early signs there of what John Taylor can expect from the travelling supporters. I'm sure he'll be enjoying that, John Taylor. He's only got the first half to get through down that end, hasn't he? So once that first 45 are out of the way, can focus on what he can do in front of the home fans down this end.
I'd imagine he'd quite like to score at that end, to be honest.
What you don't want is an Adebayor moment if he scores at the other end, is it? The whole way. Makes it a bit obvious, doesn't it? Ben Sheaf sandwiched between Morris and Ladapo there. It's a ball forward from Whiteman, not the best touch from Aheka. Wood goes back to his goalkeeper. Bryce upfield. John Taylor's name now rings out from the Rovers fans. Sheaf again rises between two Rotherham players and nods it down. Coppinger somehow turns away from three Rotherham players there. Now Anderson keeps the ball going left now, and Reece James. Alfie May making a run beyond the Rotherham fullback Ola Sunday. May just can't quite get there in front of Aheka, but does enough into forcing the Rotherham centre half to concede a throw in. James wants to get on with it quickly. May and Coppinger making runs off the ball. It's Coppinger who receives it and lays it off for Reece James. Whiteman just had to stretch to receive the pass and gives it away. Now Wiles with the ball over the top. Lawler's quickly off his line and collects it quite comfortably in the end. Ladapo was chasing. Here's James now, who slips as he tries to cut inside. Does get the pass away to Anderson. Now Whiteman, who's dropped into that full-back role to allow Halliday to move forward. Here is the Rovers full-back. Sheaf making an angle for him. Goes back to Anderson instead, who of course suffered the injury, didn't he, at Rotherham the last time we played them. Him and Marco Morosi got in each other's way, and Tom ended up second best. Did you come on for him that game? Was you on for Tom?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
First game back from a broken rib.
Long delay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's Coppinger. Halliday round the corner towards Sterling, who's bent his run and stayed on side. Looks to go inside of Wood, and centre half just does enough, but does concede another Rovers throw-in on the far side this time. Halliday will take Coppinger. Halliday again looks to cut inside, gets away from two Rotherham players. McDonald, one of them, thought about a shot on that left peg, didn't he? Instead goes back to Whiteman. Now James. May making a run for him, and he gets the right side of Ola Sunday, who just stretched out. Big right leg to stop Alfie May from making any more ground. James with the throw in then. Sterling goes short. Coppinger makes a arching run to take the defender away from Kazai. Handball against the Aheka. Darren Moore has his arms outstretched, nothing given. Here's John. Now Ben Sheaf lays it off for Taylor, who drops it off for Sheaf again. Nice little intricate pass in there from Rovers. Now John. James. Nice ball to find Whiteman in a more advanced position than we're used to seeing him in a Rovers shirt. Off Wiles. Thought it might have gone out for a corner initially, but it stays in play. Here's Taylor, lets it run. Sheaf just wasn't expecting it, but then does make the tackle on Ladapo to win it back for Rovers. Now Cameron John. 6 minutes gone, still goalless. That's a nice ball by Whiteman to pick out Taylor, who just gets muscled off it by Richard Wood. Still going, John Taylor, trying to win the ball back, and he forces Wood into a misplaced pass. That with Lawler now inside the Rovers penalty area. Cameron John. James. He's it off for John again, who's just going back towards his own goal under a bit of pressure from Wiles, and has to be careful here, the Rovers centre half in the end as well, to just win a throw-in. Referee just making sure Reece James is back to where it initially went out. Whiteman lays it off for James now, upfield towards Alfie May. Hekwa wins the header, Wood does the same, and then Sheaf battling with Lindsay in the air. Morris nicked it away from James and then went down, caught one on the ankle there, and Rotherham get the free kick wide right. First chance for them to try and punt the ball into the box, get the big men forward from the back. So it's going to be Ben Wiles will take. Although Jake Hastie is now coming over as well to offer a different option, left foot and right foot over it. Rovers have got everybody back behind the ball. Defensive line on the edge of the Rovers penalty area. It's not a worse ball in from Hastie. Anderson had to deal with it with Hekwa coming in round the back. Corner Rotherham, first one of the game. First chance for them to swing one in from out wide there. Decent delivery, wasn't it, from a free kick?
Yeah, very good delivery. Something that Paul Gerrard has stressed a lot this week is the importance of set plays in this game. They're very dangerous from set plays, so it's something we're going to have to work hard on today.
Yeah, a few times this season Rovers have fell behind, but they'll be keen to avoid that this afternoon. It's a ball swung in. James almost under his own crossbar. The free kick goes against Rotherham anyway. Thought I'd almost curse them now with that comment just before the corner, but it can become psychological, can't it, if you concede it first? I know it hasn't affected Rovers yet because they've shown good character in every game to come back and fight back. Obviously the Lincoln game the other week was one where they scored first and went on to win that game, so they're showing different ways to get 3 points. Here's Morris off John. James nips in and sweeps it upfield. Sterling battling with a Hekwa. Coppinger couldn't quite get there in front of the big centre half. Wiles now to Hastie again up against Halliday, takes it beyond the Rovers full-back towards the byline, tries to cut back inside. Halliday stands him up and prevents him from getting the cross in early. Taylor there with him as well now, lays it off for Robertson, swept ball into the box. Anderson wins the header on as far as Olasunde. May's out to him quickly, takes it away from two Rovers players there in May and Coppinger. Wiles now to Robertson, good ball to Ladapo, flicks it around the corner.
Well done, Tom.
That's a very good tackle on the edge of his own penalty area. First sign of Rotherham having a bit of playing in and around the Rovers area. Robertson will take the throw in. The Rotherham fans find their voice. 9 minutes gone. There's a short option. Is Wiles on the angle of the penalty area. Deep ball into the box towards the back stick. Morris is up there, so was Cameron John, and Alfie May makes a key intervention to clear it. Here's Olasunde on the right hand side. May there with him again. Cuts back and lays it off for McDonald. Another experienced man in this Rotherham side. Nice ball by Lindsay to find Olasunde. Deep ball into the area, but it's over everybody. It's still alive though. Robertson fires it across. Cleared by Anderson, and then Coppinger nips in to win it back for Rovers and does really well. He's surely fouled there.
Ref.
Olasunde is. He wins a free kick. Robertson fired that one in, and I think it was
Tom Anderson again, yep.
Could have gone anywhere, of course. Unfortunately for Rovers, it went away from goal.
Ref.
Field from Halliday, another free kick for Rovers, this time on the far side. Richie Barker and Paul Warren just having a chat with the fourth official down in the technical area. Free kick for Rovers inside their own half, then Sheaf, the man over it. Again, allowing Halliday to press forward. There's a feature they play, particularly on Tuesday night, where one of the holding midfielders always drops in to allow the fullback to go beyond. Brad was pretty much playing as an extra striker, wasn't he? Sort of a wide right on Tuesday. Here's Whiteman now. Reece James as well to get away from Morris, and then finds Coppinger. Coppinger fouled again. That's 2 or 3 free kicks in quick succession that Rotherham have conceded, and James Coppinger just makes that point, I think, to the referee. Just preventing Rovers from getting any momentum, aren't they, really? Sheaf again, the man over it. Sterling making a run. Instead he plays a nice ball over the top to find James, who's got Olasunde for company. He gets the tackle in, and now Morris finds Wiles. The pass wasn't the best to McDonald, but Rotherham come away with it. Wiles left now to Clark Robertson, former Blackpool defender. One ball upfield towards Ladapo. Big money transfer for him in terms of in League One. I think it was 800 grand Rotherham paid for him in the summer. from Plymouth. He was their top scorer last season. He was up there with John Marquis in terms of goals scored in League One. The team have really tested the opposition goalkeeper just yet. There's been a corner and a free kick for Rotherham, which have deep into the Rovers area. Rovers have stood tall though and defended everything that's come at them. Tom Anderson in particular with a couple of important interceptions. John with that header up into the air. Taylor and Lindsay do battle. Rovers get the throw in. I suppose it's this stage in the game now, isn't it, when the sort of, if you like, the fizz of the derby, it moulds into a normal game now, doesn't it? Until something, a goal or a big tackle or something like that. Now it is you get the sense it's just a game of football. Yeah, after those initial couple of, well, I won't say chances, but just that a bit of pressure that Rotherham applied, then you can just feel it in the ground. It just quietens down a little bit and just allows people just to relax a little bit more and just focus on the game and get playing again. Halliday's clattered there. Although there's a bad tackle. Nasty, that might get the fans up a little bit. It's left Halliday on the floor. Felt that one. Halliday back on his feet now, and Nasty gets a talking to from the referee. Sort of the next one is a yellow, you would think, wouldn't you? You'd think so, yeah. You'd think if it wasn't a derby, that could have got a yellow. Sheaf again over the free kick then on halfway for Rovers. Whiteman making an angle for him. Over the top towards Sterling, but it's got too much on it that time from Ben Sheaf. A bit of a wasted opportunity to try and get Rotherham back towards their own goal there. Lewis Price over this goal kick then for Rotherham. A big side, aren't they? You look at the two here, Ladapo and Morris. Big guys. McDonald's not short either. Set pieces you'd feel will be important. As you mentioned earlier, Paul Gerrard's stressed how key they could be. And they've also got a lot of height on the bench as well. They've got Smith, they've got Crooks. There's two big lads there as well, so it's certainly something that they'd look to work on. McDonald now out wide to Robertson. Nasty tries to keep that one in play. It was very close to drifting out. Now Robertson again. Here's Price, goalkeeper. Ekwa just outside his own penalty area. Sterling applying some pressure. Now Ola Sunday will go all the way back to Price again. Good pressure from Rovers down this near side. May and Sterling just pressing. And Price will now take all the time in the world to clear it upfield. And punt upfield towards Ladapo. Chests it down away from Cameron John and now takes it in his stride. It's not the worst ball in the world. Hest is chasing, but Lawler's out quickly to make sure he can't get anything on it. It's a nice ball from Ladapo, but Lawler immediately was off his line to prevent anything from happening. Here's Sheaf on the right hand side now. Hasty again, who's a busy player, isn't he? He's lively. Throw into Rovers that time. Halliday looks to have run off that earlier knock from the tackle from Jake Hasty. To pick out a man with a throw in now. Coppinger is the short option, lays it off for Halliday again. Ball up towards Taylor, headed away by Robertson. Rovers haven't really got the wide man into the game just yet. Ladapo's taking it away from Anderson, not once but twice, towards the edge of the penalty area now. Lays it off for Hasty on the left hand side. Anderson's been dragged out of position and Hasty will look to take him on for pace. Lifts a good ball into the box towards Wiles. Great header by Reece James. Ola Sunday penalised for handball. Well done, Reece James. Very important header with men coming in at the back stick. It's always hard, isn't it, not knowing what's coming in from the back post when you're facing the ball. But he did his job there and won the header. Cameron John's going to leave this free kick to Ian Lawler, I think. He thought about going short, but then just waves his... still will, yeah. Thought about it again, and then did it. Long ball upfield from John towards Sterling. Header by Ihekwe. Ball forward from Morris. It stayed in play initially. John with the header now. James can't quite flick it on, but his presence was enough to force Morris into slicing that one out for a throw-in. Paul Warren gives Reece James the ball back. Coppinger, lovely turn away from McDonald. Another foul from Rotherham. 2 each for McDonald and Hastie on the far side. John Schofield, I think, is just asking the question of the fourth official, how many more until you start brandishing that yellow card. Nice ball from Coppinger to find Halliday, who's got half a yard to maybe size up across. He cuts back and finds Sheaf now. Nice ball to find Cameron John, who takes the ball in his stride and assesses the options in front of him. Nice ball to find Alfie May, edge of the Rotherham area. Now John in a decent position still. 1-2 between him and May. Sterling making a run, and then John tries the long diagonal, which I'm not sure was ever really on from that sort of position. Halliday can't keep it in, and Rotherham get the throw in, so the pressure just dies off a little bit on Rotherham. Yeah, Halliday was making a run into the box. It wasn't executed that well by Cameron John. Clark Robertson will take this throw in over on the far side, then close to the corner flag. Sheaf steps in and tries to win it back for Rovers. Now they do get it back. Here's Whiteman. Now Cameron John. And now James, who loves getting forward down this left-hand side. May drops it off for Whiteman. Halfway line. Now Anderson. Through towards Taylor. Bit of a heavy touch there. And then Lindsay dived in and won the tackle. Taylor does well to try and nip it back, though. Here's Robertson for Rotherham. Neither team have really settled into a passing sort of intensity. Levels haven't really gone up from either team in terms of on the ball. Off it, there's been a...
Yeah, the Rotherham press has been really good, to be honest. Going in 2s and 3s, not going in 1s, going as a pack really, and hunting that ball.
It's how long that press can be kept up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that.
Question. Ladarpo plays the handball against the big front man. Morris does well to get away from Ben Sheaf there. Lays it off for McDonald in the centre circle. Keeps it going left now, and Robertson. He's got Hastie, who went from out to in. McDonald on halfway, lays it off for Wood. Now the Rovers press is forcing Rotherham back a little bit. Here's Ihekwe, still inside his own half. Wiles tried to nick it away from James.
No, come on.
He's given it. He wasn't going to at first, was he? He sort of looked and looked. Couldn't make his mind up.
It's a harsh one.
Clever flick from Wiles, wasn't it? I'm not sure James was expecting it to come. It's going to be another left-footed in-swinger from Hastie, I think. Rovers again have got everybody back to defend this one. Paul Gerrard again barking out instructions from this Rovers technical area. Hastie left-footed, curls it in again. Again, it's a good delivery. This time I think another Rovers man got the head on it. Cameron John potentially at the back stick.
I think it was Big Tom again, you know.
Never far apart, are they, the two centre halves? Wood had gone up with Anderson. It needed heading away, didn't it? It was another decent delivery from Rotherham.
Yeah, it's that flat whipped ball which can cause defenders all sorts of problems, but we've dealt with them touch wood really well so far.
Wiles with a corner, another decent delivery. This time Wood's up there again. He got a header on it, but he goes wide of Lawler's left hand post. But a decent opportunity there for Richard Wood. Good ball into the back stick. It seems to be the deep delivery which is Rotherham are targeting. Rovers have stood tall to it as of yet. 21 minutes gone. It's still Rovers 0, Rotherham 0. The goalkeeper's really been stretched so far, but 3 Rotherham corners. Lawler will punt this one upfield then. It's towards Sterling. And Morris went up for it. Olasunde with a header, and now John. May couldn't quite beat the ball to the bounce. Upfield from Halliday there, and Sterling will now give chase. He's done well to get away from Wood. He got a little nudge on his way past. He does enough to win Rovers a throw-in, but got a little clip, didn't he, as he tried to go around Richard Wood. Sterling now lays it off for Halliday on that right-hand side. Looks to get away from Robertson. Still has it, Brad Halliday. Half a yard now as he cuts inside towards the edge of the penalty area. Can he pick out the pass now, Halliday? Goes back on the outside and looks to lift one in, but it's over everybody and away from any danger from Rotherham's point of view. He'd done well initially, hadn't he, to work that space. It was just about the execution of the cross that he couldn't quite find.
Yeah, did everything right up until that final ball.
Of course, Darren Moore did strengthen his squad on deadline day. Another defender's walked through the door. Even more competition for you once you back. Joe Donovan Daniels has arrived. What have you made to him from what you've seen so far?
I haven't really seen much of him, to be honest. He has been doing a little bit of fitness work, so I think that's why he's not necessarily involved today. I think he's probably just a little bit off that match fitness. So he's been training, but then he's been doing a little bit of work with Rob Lee and James Walsh afterwards, a little bit of running just to top him up. So I imagine he's probably a week or so away, and then he's got that fitness and he'll start to be involved.
What about yourself? How far are you sort of in your recovery? Are you close to a potential comeback too?
I've had a good week with Rob Lee and James Walsh. Been really put through my paces this week, so with the view to train again on Monday. So I was in this morning for some assessment off the physio, and everything's looking really good. So I should be training on Monday, then just building up that fitness, and then looking forward to getting back involved.
Yeah, it's a busy period coming up, isn't it, with teams at the top end of the table to face. Hasty with that deep ball in towards Morris, and Lawler claims that he just had a little bit too much on it there. Lawler and Robertson have a bit of a coming together. Lawler just
shrugs him away.
Yeah. McDonald concedes a throw in there. Yeah, Robertson tried to prevent him from getting on with it quickly and then fell to the floor.
Just got shifted.
Big man here, Lawler, isn't it? Yeah, tough trip next weekend. Ipswich away for Rovers next Saturday, so the tough games keep on coming. It's be good to go into that with a positive performance and result in this one. Whiteman, I think he was trying to go all the way back to Lawler there. Cameron John took the ball and then did go back to the keeper on the edge of his own area, looking for initially I think the switch play to Halliday, but he goes over straight pass towards Taylor. Right. Clattered by Olasunde there. Morris upfield towards Ladapo. Cameron John tries to get around him, but Ladapo did well to pin the Rovers centre half. James wins it back, and then John goes all the way back to Lawler, who sweeps it up towards halfway.
Coppinger flicks on.
Can Taylor pick the pass? Here he is, the Rovers man. Can he make an impact here against his old club? He can't. Good tackle by Morris. Just as he looked to be on his bike there, John Taylor. The boos again rung out from the away end. Hasn't seen too much of it just yet, has he? But neither of the Rovers wide men. May and Taylor keep switching from left to right. Whiteman now and May, who looks to spin away and make an impact for Rovers. He finds Halliday, 1-2 between those two. Nice football. Let's stay in play for Halliday. Coppinger with a great touch inside. Halliday gets there and then shoots down. Whiteman with a shot over the bar.
I think there's a foul as well.
Given. Yeah, he waved advantage initially, but he asked Rovers now they'd want the free kick, but if Ben Whiteman had curled that in the top corner, then you're not too fussed.
Good play though, good play.
Yeah, good play inside on that. It was typical Coppinger piece of skill, wasn't it? Nice little back heel inside. Halliday into Whiteman, and then similar to a goal he scored last season, I think Scunthorpe at home, when it fell to him in that sort of area, he curled that one into the top corner. Just couldn't quite time that one to perfection. So Rovers starting to build a bit of momentum. Whiteman looks to find May there, who collects it on halfway and then finds Sheaf. Sheaf looks to thread it through towards Taylor, who just can't quite get on the end of it. Hands on his head. But Taylor would have been in if that pass was a little bit softer, shall we say. Taylor might have been in for a chance against his old club, but good goalkeeping, as you say, from Lewis Price. Off his line very quickly. Good idea from Sheaf though, wasn't it, to try and split centre half and full back. Price lifts it upfield towards James, who can't win it ahead of Morris. John just head it out for a Rotherham throw-in. 26 minutes. Rovers over the past 5 minutes or so have been better on the ball, haven't they? They're growing into it as it goes on. Still goalless. Olasunde over this throw-in then. Lindsay and Morris are the short options. Morris close to the byline now, into the box, blocked by John, and now Lindsay back across.
Tom.
Anderson does clear, header by Sterling.
Go on, Al.
Given away by Robertson. Can May get there in front of Ihekwe? He's got three bodies to his left if he can get his head up. Coppinger, Sterling and Taylor. Coppinger is the man to receive it. Taylor's in the box, blocked by Robertson.
Good opportunity that.
Yeah, body streaming forward, wasn't there, to his left. Here's Coppinger again then, turns inside and finds Alfie May, who made that initial break. It was his pressing that won it for Rovers, and now Rotherham come away with it. Ladapo on halfway, almost found Lindsay, but it was good defending by Sheaf, and then May goes down after a tackle from Ladapo. Ball through there by Halliday, couldn't find Sterling, and just a little bit of a scrappy,
inside there.
Yeah, a little bit of a scrappy passage of players. Taylor tries to close down Price. Couldn't quite get there. McDonald now finds Ola Sunday. Rovers have just stepped it up a little bit, haven't they?
Someone's got to fill in for Ben here.
Whiteman's pressure on Ola Sunday forces him to go back to his goalkeeper. Price takes his time about these clearances, doesn't he?
He doesn't look the most comfortable on the ball, to be honest.
No.
He's got a strange kicking technique.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, now you've mentioned it. But lovely flick there by Taylor. Couldn't quite pick out a man in the Rovers shirt, but straight through the legs of Ola Sunday, wasn't he? Sold him one there. Here's Whiteman. Here's Robertson now for Rotherham. Now Richard Wood. You'd feel that Richard Wood is someone Rovers would want to target in terms of pace, wouldn't you? He's a good defender, but he's not the most mobile. I think get him facing his own goal, and that'll be where Sterling and perhaps later on Niall Ennis will feel they might be able to exploit him.
Yeah, I think that's, you can see it in the lineup. You've got Alf, you've got Tails, you've got Kaz, the three players with plenty of pace, so that's definitely something that we have been looking to exploit, especially down that left hand side as well. I think the left back's probably more of a natural centre half than he is a full back, so there's opportunities to get down the side of them and stretch the game.
How difficult is that for a centre half? I know you came on at Charlton in the playoffs and played right back. Is it much difference between centre half and right back or left back, for example?
I'd say it's quite a big difference. You'd be surprised just the way the angle that you're taking the ball, the options you've got. It is a bit strange, but it's something I've not done often. But to be honest, it was all right in the playoffs. I thought I did okay. Surprised myself, to be honest.
Morris lays that one off for McDonald. Now Ola Sunday. Ihekwe. McDonald again. Rovers looking to press Rotherham again. Ihekwe under pressure from Sterling. Again he goes back to Price, and now Rovers will have to wait a few more seconds for Price to get on with it. Wood finds Robertson down the left, and he looks for the long ball towards Hastie, but it's got too much on it. Anderson steps in and deals with it, going as far as McDonald, and now Rovers have it back again through Coppinger. He and Whiteman trade passes, and Alfie May now lays it off for Halliday, who looks on the inside for Sheaf, looks for the first time ball. It's a decent one. Coppinger's touch though, tried to just nick it on the inside, and Rotherham win it back. Wood, ball forward, it was flicked on by Sheaf. Anderson turns away from Ladapo and plays a nice ball to May. Halliday. Rovers just playing in triangles around Rotherham, and it's good football. Whiteman, can he get his head up? James has made a great run down this left hand side, and his pass in the end can't find Sterling.
Very Ben Whiteman like that.
Normally the pass would have gone straight away, wouldn't it? But couldn't quite get his head up in time there. Anderson and Wood both win headers for their sides. Anderson wins the second one. Sheaf just looks to pin Lindsay and bring that one down. Was he fouled there? No free kick given from the referee. Ladapo, and now Robertson. McDonald. Ball one as his arms outstretched, wanting the switch in play. I think the ball forward there, straight into the path of Richard Wood.
Pressing.
Ball forward. Well, he does clear it out for a Rovers throw-in, which Darren Moore won't mind. Happy with that. Halliday goes short to Coppinger. Here he is again, the Rovers fullback. Sterling Haven't seen too much of him so far. He's done a lot of running, but not too much on the ball. Here he is. Good strength now, and Coppinger jinks one way and then the other. Half a yard now for a cross, maybe on the edge of the area. He's still got bodies around him. Not the worst ball in the world to find Reece James, but then his ball back to Whiteman. Didn't have enough on it, and here comes Wiles for Rotherham. What have Rovers got in terms of recovery? John did enough.
Well done, Cam.
Wiles' touch wasn't the best, and there is Cameron John to win that back. Whiteman now to Alfie May. He's been a real find for Rovers, hasn't he, Cameron John, in the first few weeks of the season. Here's Coppinger, looks for the flat ball over the top towards James, headed away by Olasunde, and now Wiles and Whiteman do battle again. Referee awards a free kick for Rotherham. It was Wiles who made that break just a moment or two ago, but his touch was a bit heavy. It invited John in. He still had to win it back for Rose, and he did it successfully. Rotherham have the free kick midway inside their own half, but with 32 minutes gone, Rovers have had the better in the past 5-10 minutes or so, after perhaps Rotherham had done some of the early pressing. There's Lewis Price, the Rotherham goalkeeper there.
He does like to take his time.
An age to clear this one upfield. Ball upfield towards Morris. John wins the header again and was taken out mid-air, I think. Whiteman gets a foot in and clears, and then James over the back of Lindsay wins Rovers a throw-in. Here's the Rovers number 3 will take down this near side. Whiteman and Sheaf making angles, but I think James is just going to go long up the touchline towards Sterling, who rises well to win the flick on. Woodard steps in to nod it down for Rotherham. John and Ladapo, a good battle of strength there. Taylor's going to give chase against it. Heckler, who clears it first time upfield. Whiteman wins it in the air. Coppinger lays it off now for Sterling, who's under pressure from Lindsay. Sheaf does well to win it for Rovers there on Ladapo. Now Cameron John, fresh from his goal on Tuesday night. Coppinger just fell. I don't think there was any tackle there, was there? He just fell to ground anticipating it. Richard Wood towards the edge of the area, through the legs of Halliday now and Hastie. Wood's continued his run. It's off Anderson and out for a Rotherham corner. Cheap in possession there, wasn't it? Really a little bit scrappy from Rovers.
I think just a bit loose from Cops there. I don't think he can really complain much.
No, I think he was waiting for the tackle to come, fell over, but the tackle didn't really come. Chance here for Rotherham then to swing another ball into the box. It came close to the last one. Wood glanced ahead of wide, but it was a good delivery from Wiles. Another right-footed in-swinger here. Everybody bar Olasunde in or around the penalty area. Rovers have everybody back. Swung in by Wiles again. Another good delivery, and Heckler went it just wide. Best chance of the game so far. It looked destined for that bottom corner, didn't it? Wow. Great delivery again from Ben Wiles. They've been on the money so far this afternoon. Just watching the replay now, Heckler got above everybody. Just glanced his head wide.
Should probably do better with that as well.
From that sort of distance, probably no more than 6 yards out. Lawler rooted to the spot. If it's on target, he scores, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's just a great ball in, to be honest. Keeper can't come for it, hard to defend.
Here come Rotherham again. Hastie on the left-hand side. Halliday again, the man to mark him. Hastie keeps going towards the byline. He's into the area. Halliday's still there. Hastie's still going though. Tries to dig out the pass and can't find a Rotherham teammate in the middle. Wood with the header as Rovers cleared up towards halfway. Robertson now. McDonald. Wiles again. Under pressure from Whiteman, who keeps his run going. On a Heckler. Olasunde. Good ball to find Wiles on the inside now. Sterling covering. Free kick Rotherham.
Too deep. Too deep there. Ben's gone and pressed. Line had to come up, left a big pocket for him to get the ball and then win the free kick.
It's another inviting position for the left foot of Jake Hastie, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where we've got to be careful. Like you've said, the delivery from both him and Wiles, just real quality. I think that's where they're looking most likely, is these set pieces. Other than that, I think on the whole we've defended really well.
Yeah, Hastie over it then. Rovers again with everybody back to defend it. It's in that awkward sort of zone where is he going to shoot or is he going to try and pick out a man in the middle? It's a good ball in, Heckler's out, it's all the way in. I think it's Hastie's goal. He's invited pressure with the free kicks and corners so far. It went beyond everybody. Whiteman wants a flag from the linesman on this near side, but again,
I think he's trying to say that. I think he's trying to say the centre half's got involved there. Although he's not touched it, he's certainly put off Ian Lawler. I think that's what the complaints are for. I think if he is offside, I think he's affected Ian Lawler, but I couldn't tell myself. Ben doesn't look happy about it, and he's not really the sort of person to.
Rovers waiting for the replay, but I'm not sure they can show it. Sometimes in contentious decisions, you're not allowed to show on the big screen. So.
I think that tells you. It'll be interesting to see anyway, because Ben Whiteman looked adamant that he was offside there.
Yeah, if he's in an offside position, whether he touches it or not, he's in the
ball
play, isn't he? Rotherham lead then by a goal to 0 in the final 10 minutes of the half.
There's no replay.
No replay forthcoming. That, as you say, it tells its own story, doesn't it? Ball forward towards May, who collects it. Goal was given to Jake Hastie, and Heckwer.
Oh, it's unlucky.
I don't think he got a touch.
No.
He was interfering with play if he was.
I think if he.
Position. Ball through there towards Ladarpo. Anderson's got to be careful. He gets it for Rovers, plays it back to Lawler, and it was in that sort of area where between centre half and goalkeeper, it's hard for Ian Lawler to know whether to stick or twist.
It's one of them ones. If he's not there, I'm sure Lawsy just comes and he catches the ball, but he's waiting for that. He's waiting for that header. He's waiting to react off that, and it makes it difficult for a goalkeeper.
Hastie again, another good ball into the box.
Well done, Reece James again.
I think it came off Wiles in the end anyway, but Reece James had a big job to do to prevent Rovers from going 2 goals down. This is an important stage of the game, isn't it, with Rotherham on top. The replay's shown there for that chance, so clearly not showing the goal.
Good header from Reece James, to be honest.
Yeah, an important stage of the game in terms of Rovers don't want to be finding themselves 2 goals down, do they?
No, certainly not, especially the way the game's gone. It's been very close. Two goals would be an injustice, really.
Sheaf brings that down inside his own area. Lawler to Ben Sheaf. Sheaf with a long ball upfield. Sterling couldn't quite get away from Richard Wood. He's gone down there, a bit of an innocuous.
A bit of a strange one.
Yeah. Not too much in it, but Sterling stayed down.
Could be a few tricks of the old trade there.
Just slowing the game down a little bit.
No, I mean from the centre half. Leave a little slide one on him, not from Kaz. There's always a couple of opportunities just
seemed like a bit of a coming together, didn't it? Not too much in terms of Sterling tried to get around him. Richard Wood stood his ground.
Just use experience, I'll say.
Rovers a chance here to just a few words from the coaching staff. But they've been in this position before this season, Rovers. They've found themselves a goal down. It's not unknown territory for them. They've found a way to come back in every game this season. Yeah, and that's something that the boys will be saying down there, and the coaching staff say, look, it's certainly not over, not by a long stretch. We've shown more than on one occasion this season that we're more than capable from coming from behind. So we've still got more than enough quality on that pitch to come away with the 3 points. I think the words will just be really, let's just be a bit more streetwise. Just stop giving away these little fouls, because that's the only time that they are looking dangerous, is these set pieces where the ball's getting whipped in. I think in open play they've not really caused us too many problems. Yeah, Rovers have dealt with the threat of Ladarpo fairly well up there, haven't they? John and Tom Anderson have in the air and on the floor have done what's been asked of them. It's been those set pieces where a couple of chances have flashed across the face of the goal in Heckwer and Wood with headers, but you sense that if they kept giving free kicks and corners, I suppose corners you can't really help, but free kicks away. I think I mentioned just before the one that actually resulted in the goal is just silly little fouls, really, just ones that can be avoided, and I think it just gives them that opportunity. I think just going to have to be a little bit smarter, really, because at any opportunity, whether it's in the middle of the pitch or it's out wide, they're going to look to put that ball in the box. Lewis Price is going to take even longer now to clear these balls upfield. Ball up towards Morris, who rises above Cameron John. It's just got a bit too much on it though, and Ladarpo won't quite catch it. But final 4 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half, then a key period of the game. Rovers find themselves a goal down thanks to Jake Hastie's free kick, which was, I think, more of an attempt to ball in than a shot, wasn't it? It was in that danger zone, and it went beyond everybody, including Ian Lawler, and into that far corner. Ihekwe was up there trying to get his head on it. Claims for offside from Rovers, but there was no flag from the assistant on this near side. Header from Wiles there. Here is Ladapo. Nice ball from Lindsay, chasing the run of Ben Wiles, but Lawler can sweep that one upfield. It's up towards Taylor, away by Ihekwe. Rovers, when they've got that three behind the striker into the game, have looked dangerous, but it's just getting them into it, isn't it? And
yeah.
For a sustained period. Here's Wiles out wide now to Robertson, who can bring it forward down this left-hand side. Hasty with a touch into towards the area. Rovers win it back. Whiteman now takes it beyond his man and looks for Sterling. Back on his feet.
Oh, ref.
Earlier collision.
It's got to be a booking
by Richard Wood.
It's got to be a booking.
He's calling him over.
Surely, it doesn't matter if it's his first one. It's got to be a booking.
Sterling's away there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's away. It doesn't matter if it's his first offence. That's got to be a booking. There we go.
There's the yellow card. First one of the afternoon.
I think he knows what he's doing there as well, to be honest. I think he's realised he's been caught wrong side of Kaz and just
as long as nothing comes of it from Rovers' point of view, it's a good foul to give away from Richard Wood, isn't it? Even more pressure on him now, though. We said about testing his pace earlier on if he's on a yellow. Sheaf over this free kick then for Rovers. He goes short to Cameron John. It'd be an ideal time to get an equaliser just before the break.
Surprised we've not put that in the box.
Taylor goes down there under the tackle of Olasunde, and now plays allowed to continue. Whiteman and now Taylor again. The ball just wouldn't quite sit down for him. Olasunde wins it back for Rotherham. Looks to go beyond Sheaf, and James nips in to win it back. There's a few yards to move into down this left-hand side. Maybe just running a bit too long on it. Claims for a free kick. The referee just has a look at it. Doesn't put whistle to mouth. Now Price goes forward with it. Whiteman brings it down, but not too much conviction in the pass. Rovers win the free kick again. Coppinger takes it quickly. The referee's going to bring play back anyway. Rovers with a free kick then as we head towards the final minute of the half. Coppinger it's a fairly central position, bang in the middle of the Rotherham half.
Land it on Big Tom's head.
He's got some company in there in terms of big men, hasn't he?
Yeah.
This afternoon.
I think that's got to be the target unless we work it.
Coppinger over it then. Anderson trying to get away from Richard Wood. Ball into the box. Ihekwe probably didn't really need to head that. And now Anderson just classes into the goalkeeper.
I think that there's his revenge for last season.
Last season, To be fair, it was something and nothing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's not really hitting that hard for him to stay down, but
it's a challenge, and if it's on an outfield player, there's not much grumble about it. Because it's on a goalkeeper, all of a sudden it becomes a big deal. Yeah,
it's the modern era, isn't it? Really, where the keepers get a lot more protection than what they used to be.
I think it's a case of Lewis Price buying a bit of time here as well, isn't it? He's not
in a rush to do anything today.
I don't imagine Tom's hurt him that much. And now the referee's going to call him over after initially not even giving the free kick. Surely not worthy of a booking.
No.
2 minutes of added time. I think
he might just be a little. I think he should just be a little. Oh well. You'd think he'd just be a little talking to. That's what he did. I think earlier on in the half to Hassie.
Needless yellow card there for the referee to give. I think
especially on the stroke of half time, I think you can just have a word with Tom and just say, look, just watch what you do and be a bit more careful. I don't think there's a need to book him.
I think there's been plenty more opportunities for him to get the yellow cards out, hasn't there? In the first half, and he hasn't, which is probably why it's a bit strange that he's booked Tom there. But here is Tom Anderson now. Lewis Price back on his feet at the other end after tackle from the Rovers centre half. And a big half-time team talk from Darren Moore going in a goal down, if they do, of course. A minute left of this half. But he seems to have the knack of getting a reaction out of his players, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think from what I gather on Tuesday night, that the team talk at half-time wasn't any panic about it. It was just carry on. It's needless. is just to carry on doing what you're doing, because they were playing well. Do you know what I mean? So I think the gaffer, he assesses the games really well. So I'm sure he'll have a few pointers for the lads, a few things that are doing well, a few things that can do better.
This is a key time in the game now. Ladapo fouled by Cameron John, and a good position again for Hastie. So there's been 3 or 4 down this right hand side where it's been the left-footed in-swinger, and it's going to be a delivery which Rovers are going to have to deal with in the final few seconds of this half. There won't be much time after this for any action.
No, I imagine this will be the last of it.
Hastie swings it in left-footed, then it's a deep delivery that time towards the back stick. Wood with a header straight into the arms of Lawler. Thankfully, from a Rovers point of view, again Rotherham players crowding him as he looks to get on with it quickly. James making a run this left-hand side, but Whiteman's pass isn't the best, and Hastie can nip in to win it back for Rotherham. He's under pressure now, and Rovers can't force the error. Half-time whistle goes. Rovers find themselves a goal down at the break. Then Jake Hastie's free kick, which went all the way in beyond Ian Lawler, sees Rotherham going at the break in front. Not a bad performance from Rovers, but they haven't had a real sustained spell of pressure just yet.
No, it's been a scrappy game by all accounts. I don't think there's been few times where either team's decided, right, let's keep the ball, let's recycle it, let's look to work it. It's been very end-to-end, a basketball game sort of thing. But I think the gaffer will go in there at half-time, calm the lads down.
Welcome back to the Keynote Stadium. Both sets of players back out on the field. Rovers make a change at half-time. Niall Ennis coming on for Keziah Sterling, who had a quiet first half, didn't he? Niall Ennis, of course, who's got a goal under his belt this season for Rovers in the last league game against Lincoln, and he's always looked a threat, hasn't he, when he's been on the field?
Yeah, he's a nuisance is the word I'd describe Niall as. He's puts himself about well, and I think a lot of people might have thought maybe he was unfortunate not to start the game, but Kaz did really well when he came on against Lincoln, so you can see both sides of it. So I'd imagine it was a tough decision for the gaffer, and I think he's just decided to give Niall the run out for this second half.
Yeah, play back underway then. Coppinger nearly touching the ball in this second half. 11,407 the attendance here at the Keepmoat this afternoon. 3,392 of those visitors from Rotherham. Here's Richard Wood under pressure from Niall Ennis there. Left-footed ball upfield from Lewis Price. Lindsay, I think the ball caught in the sun there as he was trying to bring that down.
Doesn't look comfortable at all, does he? No. Kicking at the keeper. No, I won't be surprised if we've been told to press him and see what happens when he's kicking under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, he was afforded a lot of time in that first half, wasn't he, to take his time about things. Morris, the ball out wide, intercepted by James as he fouled the Rotherham fullback Olasunde. Rotherham then lining up for the second half with Price in goal, a back four of Olasunde, Ihekwe, Wood and Robertson. It's a 3-man midfield, Lindsay, Wiles and McDonald, with Hastie the goal scorer up top alongside Morris and Ladapo. Rovers with that change at half-time. Lawler in goal, Halliday, Anderson, John and James in the back four, Whiteman and Sheaf the two holding midfielders, Taylor, Coppinger and May now supplying the support for Niall Ennis. The two benches for Rotherham: Bilbo, Mattock, Thompson, Barlaser, Crooks, Smith and Lamey. Rovers: Dieng, Sadlier, Amos, Blair, Blaney and Longbottom. Long ball into the box here by Hastie towards Wood, away by Anderson, and as far as McDonald, who nods it back into the mix. Wood looked like he was coming back from an offside position. Robertson, in fact, the flag does now go up, but again it was in that sort of position, the free kick, where Rovers conceded the goal from in the first half, and that'll surely have been a message at half-time from Darren Moore: if you can avoid it, don't give fouls away. Well, Hastie can swing the ball into the box and cause you problems. Yeah,
I'd imagine you would have been too pleased with just straight away giving them that free kick and allowing them that opportunity to put the ball in the box, because like we said in the first half, that's when they look that they're most likely to score.
Halliday, the throw-in early in the second half, then he's gained a few yards from where it initially went out, I think. Just keeps tiptoeing forward, doesn't he?
The ref's not spotted it yet.
He's still going.
The referee just shrugs his shoulders, and now he's told to stop.
Here's Ennis, looks to cut inside. Hastie wins it initially, it comes off McDonald, and now Coppinger does really well to get away from McDonald. Ennis now with his back to goal, tries to lay it off to Halliday, but sort of wrong foots the Rovers man. Now Anderson go all the way back to his goalkeeper, and Rovers have gone from the edge of the Rotherham area to the edge of their own. Here's John. Tries to pick out Taylor, but Rotherham won it back initially, but then Cameron John makes up for his earlier error. Rovers trying to play in tight areas. Taylor overruns that one. Throw into Rotherham. Just 3 minutes played in the second half. Still Rovers 0, Rotherham 1. Here's Olasunde on that far side. Lays it off for Ihekwe, who a few people have said in the press room at half-time was in an offside position for that Rotherham goal. Ladapo on the edge of the area, causing problems for Cameron John. Got his arms around him. Can Ladapo get a shot at goal? No, he can't. Reece James wins it back. Cameron John knew he couldn't make a tackle, and Reece James gets a pass all wrong. Out for a throw-in, but the good alternative,
Good defending, Reece James.
Just screaming at Cameron John not to make the tackle in that sort of position, aren't you, with Ladapo running?
It's one of those heart in mouth moments where you're just thinking, don't tackle him from that side, don't do it. Then luckily Reece James gets across really well and wins the ball.
Here's Wiles. Whiteman at his back. No free kick there from the referee. May got a touch to
so
it.
Lucky.
So McDonald takes it away from Taylor. Here's Morris now. He's got Olasunde to his right. He finds the fullback, or tries to find the fullback. It was an overhit pass in towards the Darpo. Important header by Cameron John, I think, to take it away from the Rotherham front man. Here's May now on this right hand side. Took a little nick from
Go down, Alf. Just go down.
Alfie May probably a bit too honest there in staying on his feet. Here's Lindsay now for Rotherham. Ball out wide was half intercepted by Coppinger. In turn, it does find Morris now. Here's Olasunde. Lindsay. Chance for Morris to try and pick out a cross. Not the worst ball in, and Cameron John slices his clearance behind for a Rotherham corner. That started this second half well, Paul Warne's side.
I think Tom Anderson there just trying to get the lad just to liven up a little bit here.
Yeah, a chance for Asti to swing the ball in then. We've seen how good his delivery's been so far this afternoon. Can he try and pick out a man in the middle here? 5 minutes of the second half gone. Wood peeling off round the back. Asti with another good delivery towards Richard Wood. It's over the top of the crossbar. Lawsy.
Just enough there, Tom Anderson. Yeah. Just enough just to put his body in between him there. I think he knew he wasn't going to win the header. Just does enough just to stop him getting that free header on it.
An inch or two lower and it might have creeped underneath Ian Lawler's crossbar. He would have hoped to have had it covered if it had. Robertson wins that header. Nice little flick by Paul Warne there as the ball came down. Rovers get the throw in front of their own dugout. Halliday again just tiptoeing forward down this near side. Nice throw to find Sheaf, who tries to play it over the top towards May. Robertson wins the header. McDonald doesn't get too much on his. Coppinger couldn't find a red and white shirt. Wiles clears and Cameron John will sprint over to that left hand side to claim it for Rovers. He goes back to Ian Lawler in goal. And will just bring the ball out of his penalty area and play it straight back to Cameron John. Wants too much time on it there, the Rovers centre half. He's giving it away, and now McDonald for Rotherham. Bodies to his left, making a run. McDonald,
well done, Ben,
gets a pass away to Morris in the end. Taylor coming back.
Tails.
Good covering from the former Rotherham man. But a chance for Rotherham to keep the pressure on Rovers.
Sad to just been told to warm up.
Yeah, you'd feel.
Yeah, Gaffer's just turned to him, told him to go get warm.
Rovers win it back, and here comes John Taylor. First chance he's had to stretch his legs in this second half. Close to the byline. Nice ball to Ennis. Ennis just couldn't quite find the pass inside towards Coppinger. He wins it back now, though, although Olasunde does well. Rovers fans wanted a free kick. I'm not sure it was going to come.
Just couldn't sort his feet, could he? I think Cops had made a brilliant run.
Ladapo wants a free kick now. The referee waves advantage. Here's Olasunde on the right-hand side. He's got Lindsay to his right. Can you find Lindsay? The ball's just going to drift out of play for a goal kick.
Held it up really well, Ladapo. Yeah, brought people into the game. I think we just need to stop that initial ball into him, get a screen in front of him. Don't let it get into feet. He's good with his back to goal. Good
at turning away from people with that first touch as well, isn't he? On the inside. Lawler with a long ball upfield, then Ennis wrestling with Wood. Wood wins the header. Taylor brings it down and finds Coppinger now. Halliday and James making runs forward from fullback. It finds Reece James on the left-hand side. Now Whiteman, 25, 30 yards from goal.
Get in the box, get in the box.
Whiteman trading passes. Whiteman is now in the box. Can he find a pass? Taylor in the area. I thought that might have been his moment, but he just wouldn't sit for him. Sheaf now to Halliday. Halliday can't get his feet sorted out to turn away from. He gets the pass away in the end, and Robertson clears. Anderson then clears up towards halfway and out for a Rotherham throw. Is it? No, it stays in. No, it does go out of play now. The linesman gives it.
Alfie May's not happy about it though.
Yeah, I just thought when that ball was fizzed in by Whiteman a moment or two ago, when Taylor's first touch of it had been maybe a little bit.
It was just slightly behind him, wasn't it? The touch couldn't allow him to get that shot off.
There's McDonald, and now on a Sunday.
Promising though.
Ennis looking to put the pressure on the Heckler there, and turn Richard Wood. Wasn't the most convincing pass to the Rotherham captain. Ennis continues to put the pressure on. I think Wood was actually going down before.
He was trying to leave a little bit on Niall there.
Wiles wants to play a 1-2 with Ladapo. Ball into Lindsay now, who tried to find the front man, but Whiteman won it back for Rovers. Here's Reece James. Now Taylor back to goal. Ball over the top from James, headed back into the Rovers half by McDonald. Morris to Lindsay. Nice football from Rotherham there, and Ladapo now looked to take it away from Reece James, but his touch was heavy. Rovers get the throw in. Kieran Sadlier is still out warming up. 2 goals to his name already this season. Here's James bringing it forward, looks to find Ennis, who controls with his back to goal, and his pass is poor. Lyles picks it off. Here's Lindsay. Hasty making a run to the left-hand side. Halliday's got to track him. Lindsay to the edge of the area now, tries to play it across, blocked by Whiteman, and then Rovers do win it back via a combination of John and Reece James, I think. Here is John Taylor now. Looks to knock it beyond his man, wins a throw-in for Rovers. Gets on with it quickly, looked like handball from Coppinger. McDonald cleared it anyway, round the corner from Lindsay. And Morris giving chase. James can only concede a throw, and it's just a bit scrappy from Rovers.
It's frantic. It's the word I'd describe it. Just, I don't think there was a need for the quick throw in there.
Here's Lindsay. Good pressure from Taylor to nip it back, and it's going to be Coppinger, May or Taylor, the one that comes off if Sadlier does eventually come on. But it's hard to know who to take off out of those three, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, I think
none have had a overly impressive game. There've been flashes of each one of them.
I think you've always got that magic with Cops.
Yeah.
Personally, my opinion, like for how long I've been here, he's a match winner, whether that's a goal from himself or a clever assist. I think, me personally, I think you keep Cops on, but it's a very difficult decision of who he does go for.
Here comes Taylor, man at his back. He's clipped by Ola Sunday. That's going to be a yellow card, hasn't it? And that's what Taylor gives you, isn't it?
Yeah, he gives you
who you bring off, but he's maybe staked his claim to stay on with a run like that, especially against his old club as well. You feel like if he's on the pitch, something could happen.
I think Tails and Alf give you very similar things in the sense that the direct runners with the ball at the feet. I think Cops gives you that little bit with that chop of his, where you can just work a little bit of space where maybe others couldn't. So
Coppinger and James over this free kick then. A similar one in terms of angle, but on the other side of the pitch, if that makes sense, to the one Rotherham scored from. Good angle.
Look quite deep as well here.
Yeah, 4 Rovers players on the Rotherham defensive line. Sheaf and Whiteman are just holding on the edge of the area. Only really Cameron John back on halfway. It's interesting leaving a centre-half back. Coppinger with the free kick. Not the worst delivery in the world, and Morris heads it behind for Rovers' first corner of the second half.
Coming up now, Cam.
Yeah, he's up there now, especially with 2 goals to his name this season. He'll fancy his chances of adding to that this afternoon. Can Coppinger, the man for the big occasion, dig out a delivery here for a Rovers player?
Putting a lot of pressure on the keeper.
Camped on the line, aren't they?
Yeah.
Rovers. You're looking for a runner from deep, aren't you, to sort of distract those defenders. It's a deep delivery towards May at the back stick, who gets it all wrong. He goes out for a goal kick. Good idea of coming in, but Just couldn't quite get the timing on it.
No, swung with the left foot, hit with his right knee.
Kieran Sadley has been called back now. Could that have been Alfie May's final final call? You won't want it to be.
No. Not his most memorable touch.
Approaching the hour mark then at the Keepmoat. Rovers 0, Rotherham 1.
He's just getting some instructions down there, Sads.
Anderson wins the header then. Here is Alfie May. Ennis keeps the ball inadvertently, trying to wait first time. Coppinger now on this right hand side. Taylor sneaking in at the back stick. Coppinger still has the ball at his feet. Now Sheaf. Here is Alfie May. Halliday made a run initially inside and then halted his run. May to Whiteman. It's just a nice ball. It just brings a fizz back into this Rovers attack. Coppinger receives the ball from Halliday. Early ball into the box. It was aimed towards Taylor, away by Lindsay. James now to Whiteman. Looks to float one back out wide to Coppinger again. Coppinger brings it down. Good first touch from the Rovers man. Can he get that chop on Robertson? Ball into the area. May takes it under his spell and away from Robertson now. Coppinger with the early ball in. Not the worst delivery. Taylor heads it over a bar.
You wouldn't expect him to get to be a header.
How's he got above the centre half?
No, it's a great leap. But that's much better. The sustained pressure, just attacking and the clear it, attacking again. It makes that Rotherham backline a little bit more nervy. Imagine the keeper will take his time now, though.
You're expecting the centre half to probably win that header, aren't you? But Taylor, to be fair to him, he's not the biggest, but he did well there to get above him, just maybe underneath it a little bit. Whiteman wins that header. Ennis is going to give chase. It's blocked off by the centre half. And the referee just shakes his head. Martin Coy. Kieran Sadley is stripped and ready to come on. I'm sure you'll see Coppinger, May and Taylor all glance across in anticipation of who it could be.
I'll just try not to look.
There's Sunday with Taylor looking to win it back for Rovers. A Hekwa crossfield pass is a good one in the end to pick out Robertson, but he's going to be under pressure from May now. Hasty. Halliday tries to win it back, does well to win it back for Rovers. Good recovery from Brad Halliday. Can he pick out the pass now? Here's Coppinger going down a bit of a blind alley, and McDonald nipped in to concede a throw-in. And here comes a throw-in at the substitution then. Alfie May, the man coming off. You did feel it would be him or Taylor, wouldn't you? So
yeah, I had a feeling it probably would be Alf, to be honest.
Sadly then on. Perhaps will count himself unlucky not to have started this afternoon. Ball from Halliday picks him out for his first touch, nice and early after just coming on. Can he nick himself away from Robertson there? Gives it away quite cheaply and then gives away a needless foul, really. Kieran Sadley stopped Rotherham from counter-attacking. Bright green boots on as well. Stands out in the crowd, doesn't he, with those on? Again, Lewis Price in no rush to take this one.
That doesn't look like his kit, does it? It looks
It's a bad
huge.
kit, isn't it? It's a weirdly designed kit as well. Long ball upfield. He's headed down by Anderson. Halliday puts his foot through it and clears it upfield. Ennis can bring that down on his chest, with Sadley making a run on the outside. Instead he goes left to James. Whiteman lets it roll through to the full back. Bit of room to move into down that left hand side. Whiteman threads it through again. James will get there ahead of the byline. Deep ball into the box. Sadley is up there, nodded down towards Sheaf on the edge of the roof. Oh! Saved by Lewis Price. Oh, wow. What a save that is. Sheaf's effort heading towards the top corner. And somehow Price, who looked to got his positioning slightly wrong at first, somehow got a big right hand to it.
Oh, it's great technique on your left foot as well.
Oh, what a great save. What a save that is.
What an effort that is.
The closest Rovers have come to equalising. What an effort it was from Sheaf. Coppinger swings it in. Deep delivery. John was up there. Might fall for Taylor in the area, who tried to put his foot through it but got it all wrong. Whiteman takes over into the area. Can he dig out across? Deep one towards Anderson, but he glances his header rather than getting clean contact on it. Out of play for a goal kick. Good moment though for Rovers. Good little spell of possession. What an effort from Sheaf.
Oh, wow. That would have gone in. Reminded me a bit of Ben Whiteman against Southend. Was it Southend? Same end as well.
Great save from the goalkeeper. Price hasn't had too much to do in terms of saving shots, but what he did do there, wow. Big right hand to tip it over the bar. As John brings that one down, tries to sort his feet out to get away from the Rotherham men, and then concedes a foul. He's just done that 2 or 3 times now in this second half. Rotherham have a free kick. Then interesting to see what Paul Warne does in terms of changes. As we said earlier on, he's got big men on the bench, hasn't he? Crooks and Smith. Barlaser, who was at Accrington last season as well, midfielder. Here's Ola Sunday on that right-hand side. He's got 4 in the box to aim for. Dinks it in towards Wood. Header by Anderson was a good one to clear. Sadly, he can come away with it now under pressure from Hasty. Again, just maybe wants to
avoid that.
Rotherham,
linesman, come on.
Sadly, are not happy with it. Robertson will take the throw in. Just looking for runners off him.
Height.
Wiles takes it away from Sheaf. Robertson to Ladapo, bit of a heavy touch that time from the front man. Sadly looks to win it by. That ball's drifted out of play and Rovers get the throw in.
It's great feet.
Paul Warne furious. Halliday with this throw in then. Headed clear by Robertson. Halliday again.
Good pass.
Here's Whiteman now. James. Taylor lays it off for Cameron John. There's John Taylor again, just shy of halfway. It's pedestrian-like, isn't it, though, from Rovers? It's not building anything, really. Here comes John, over halfway. Can he pick the pass this time? James making the run. He just tried to thread it through, but it was blocked, and then blocked again by Rotherham. And on Sunday, in fact, drifts out of play for a Rovers throw-in. Interesting as well if Darren Moore wants to make any more changes. One more in the offing. Sadly, and Ennis have already come on. The obvious one is Blair, isn't it, on the bench?
Yeah.
So had legs in midfield. Coppinger.
Blair, he could go
Whiteman.
long bottom.
Sadlier turns away from Robertson and Lindsay. Now Halliday threads it through towards Ennis in the area. Can Ennis roll away here? Gets across the way. All the way across. Coppinger!
Yes! Get in!
Lofty shot, but Rovers have equalised. We mentioned his quality earlier on, and he's equalised for Rovers all the way to the other end to celebrate in front of the Rotherham fans. And Rovers are level with 24 minutes to go. It's one of those shots, the best way to describe it. If he hits it cleanly, it probably doesn't cause Rotherham as many problems.
It into the ground, doesn't he? Just bounces over the keeper. Absolutely love it, Cops.
Must have been getting some stick from those Rotherham fans in the first half.
What a reception that is.
Great play from Niall Ennis in the build-up. Halliday, first of all, to get the ball through to him.
Yeah, it was a lovely pass into Niall. It's a great cutback.
Great finish from Coppinger, hits into the ground. Price had made his dive to the right-hand side, but because Coppinger had hit it into the ground, it sort of bounced up and into the middle of the goal in the end. Rovers back level.
There's the atmosphere.
Rovers, with a quarter of this game remaining, find themselves back on level terms. And now the sort of onus is with Rovers, isn't it, to go on and try and win this game. And Rotherham will still think they've got a good chance of it as well. And the Rovers fans find their voice. Rotherham silence at the other end. Yeah, James Coppinger made a point, didn't he, of going over halfway, as we said John Taylor might. We said John Taylor might earlier on, but James Coppinger took it upon himself.
Crooks coming on for Rotherham.
Yeah.
He was in my youth team.
was it Northampton, wasn't he, before?
Yeah, he was at Huddersfield, and then he was with me at Aki as well.
Followed you around a little bit.
I know. Just went to the wrong part of Yorkshire.
Yeah, Matt Crook's about to come on. Rovers have a throw in. McDonald back on his feet, and I think it might be him who's coming off. They won't make the change before the ball's back in play, though, as Rovers get on with it quickly. Rotherham temporarily down to 10 men, and I'm sure Paul Warren will want to get the change made quickly, but that ball has got too much on it. Goal kick given, and now Rotherham will make their change. Matt Crook's on then, Sean McDonald off.
Substitution for Rotherham United, player off number 4, Sean McDonald, replaced by number 17, Matt Crooks.
Good technical player, especially for his size.
For a big guy.
Very good with his feet.
And even more size added to this Rotherham team then. Price lifts it upfield. I'm sure now it's at 1-1. He'll probably be a bit quicker about his goal kicks and such like. Here's Sadlier for Rovers. Lays it off for Sheaf. Coppinger's making a run down the right, or towards the right hand side. Whiteman under pressure from Crooks gets his pass away to John, and bodies out wide in Taylor to aim for. Taylor would love a goal against his old club. Cuts inside. Goes for it from distance. Save from Price. He's a threat when he cuts inside like that and get his shot away. Price was equal to it. Man had just been dipping towards that near post.
Hit it well.
I'm sure we'd have seen similar sort of celebration again from John Taylor. Coppinger over the corner then. Rovers looking to go in front
Whiteman
in this game. Swung in by Coppinger. Anderson's up there, headed away. Sadlier with a header away again by Lindsay. Taylor just maybe misjudged the flight of that ball slightly, and now Rotherham do clear. Only as far as Halliday on halfway, who looks to put it back into the mix. Eniso can't quite battle away from Robertson. And goal kick goes in Rotherham's favour, but the header back into the mix initially was almost caused Rotherham even more problems. And we've got 20 minutes of normal time remaining. One apiece. James Coppinger getting Rovers back on level terms. Who else from a Rovers point of view? A scuff shot, not the cleanest ball they'll ever hit, but they all count when they end up in the back of the net. Ball upfield then from Price. James upfield towards Taylor, headed away by Olasunde. A wrestling match between James and Matt Crooks, and it's the Rotherham man who comes away with a throw-in. Olasundé's not got much support over on that far side. Lindsay now provides him with some. Sheaf tried to win it back for Rovers. Lindsay plays a long diagonal for Rotherham, and Halliday does well to position himself and win the header. He plays a 1-2 with Sadlier. A good tackle from Crooks on Halliday. He had to get it right. If Halliday nicks a touch in front of him, it's a yellow card, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coppinger to Halliday again. Now Whiteman. Coppinger spins away. Halliday on the inside now just lays it off for Tom Anderson, who will lift it up the line.
Great pass.
Times his run, brings it down,
Good
and then
defending.
I think he was going to try an early shot there, Niall Ennis, but Hekwa got in and made the tackle. Played it out for a Rovers throw-in deep inside the Rotherham half, which Halliday will come forward to take. Quick one to Coppinger, gets it back. Does Brad Halliday. Wants to play a 1-2 with Sadlier. You could see him continue his run, but instead the ball finds Coppinger. So obvious that shot was coming, but the defender couldn't do anything about it. Great ball in by Coppinger, but Price just gets there. That's when you want somebody gambling in the middle of the Rotherham area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you called the chop before it happened, then he went again, didn't he?
I've seen that chop so many times. I like to think I know when it's coming now.
Does Cops know when it's coming now?
I don't know. It's the double chop, that's what does me now.
I remember Andy Williams being on iFollow and saying that as a striker it's good, but it can be a nightmare as well. You're trying to time your run, because one chop you can sort of you can deal with, then again you're sort of waiting to make your run into the box. If it's bad for a striker, I'd dread to think of being a defender against it. Whiteman can't get there for Rovers. Anderson can, and then Sheaf just lays it off for Whiteman now. There's Sadlier. up against Robertson. Can he test the legs of Clark Robertson? He can. He gets on the outside of him. Kieran Sadler looks to get a ball into the box. Maybe it's off Lindsay. Throw in rather than a corner for Rovers.
Good intent.
Yeah, Halliday will come forward to take it. Here is Ben Sheaf now. Halliday. Good flick by Sadler to return the pass to Halliday. Ball into the box, up in the air off Richard Wood. Lindsay clears, not too far though. Whiteman. Coppinger again. A lot of the Rovers play down this right-hand side. Sheaf with a nice ball into feet, and Sadler. Sheaf takes control now, edge of the area. Can he pick out a man in the middle? Tries to lay it off towards Sadler, who wants the early shot at goal. It's a good block by Matt Crooks on the edge of his own area. Rovers get the throw in.
Oh, go on.
Sadler got a touch to it. Might fall here for Whiteman, who keeps it going left, and now Rhys James, who finds it across. A save from Price, and if he didn't hold on to that, there were Ennis and Coppinger queuing up at the back stick to tap it in. Again, he handled the delivery well, James, didn't he? It sat up, had to get his boot over it.
Oh, it's too well. Should have done a Cops.
Ball forward from Price. Morris brings it down a bit too easily from Rovers' point of view. Crooks to Wiles now. Here's Olasunde. Now Ihekwe.
Come on now.
Ball back to Price, and he's not afforded as much time as he was in the first half there by Ennis. Wrestling match between Anderson and Ladapo that time. Rovers come out on top, and then Ben Sheaf just clattered by two Rotherham players. Free kick goes in his favour.
You could hear that.
Wasn't pretty, was it? Whiteman now to James. Is there a winner in this one? 15 minutes to go. Taylor clipped there by Olasunde as he got the ball away. Stays down. John Taylor back to his feet now, but hobbles away from it. Whiteman to his midfield partner Sheaf. Now Halliday. Sadler coming across to make an option for him. Halliday keeps going. Now Whiteman. Ennis back to Whiteman, but it was a tough pass to sort of take into his stride. Rovers have it again through Cameron John. Taylor. Sheaf to Whiteman. Two Bens linking up there. Whiteman plays a nice ball out to Sadler. Sadler attacks the penalty area. Half a yard here to fizz it across goal. And he needed somebody to take that gamble again. Brilliant ball in by Sadler. It evaded everybody and goes out for a Rotherham throw-in on the other side of the pitch. Joe Mattock about to enter the fray for Rotherham. More natural left back. Although it's not Clark Robertson coming off. Jake Nasty, the goal scorer for Rotherham, on to be replaced.
Could go to a free at the back.
I'm sure Clark Robertson will be delighted to see a natural left back coming off. With Kieran Sadler looking to make an impact. Although it's like Mattock might well be on that.
I think he's just playing in front of him, Same shape.
I suppose with a defensive-minded player there. I think
he'll just be a bit more support for him. I think, like you said, we've just got in a little bit of joy down that right-hand side with Brad and Sads.
Taylor with a first-time pass towards Ennis, but Ihekwe steps in and clears. Ladapo looking to get his body in front of Anderson, who got a touch to it. Whiteman lays it off for Cameron John, who goes all the way back to his goalkeeper, Ian Lawler. First-time ball up and beyond halfway. Ennis put the pressure on Ihekwe. Whiteman tried to go around Matt Crooks, which is no mean feat, is it? He's a big guy. There's Robertson. Now Mattock. Back to Robertson again. Just waving players towards him. Clark Robertson.
Options.
Coppinger looks to put the pressure on. Not the best ball. Halliday brings it down on his chest. Whiteman gives it straight back to Brad Halliday. Round the corner for Sadler. Nice ball from into now Sheaf and John linking up. John looks to take it beyond halfway. James. Taylor making a run, he's inside. James just can't quite pick him out.
Good reaction.
Lindsay to Olasunde now. All back to, they left it to each other there, and Coppinger might nip in. Lewis Price straight out.
There we go, there's the pressure.
Anywhere will do.
What's he stopped it for? Is he saying a corner?
Not too sure.
Oh, something being thrown
on
off.
the pitch, isn't there?
How's it?
Bottle, I think, is it?
Yeah. Bottle of Coke.
What a waste.
Look quite full as well. Blair is warming up.
Taylor looks just to be stretching that left leg, doesn't he? As if maybe struggling a little bit. Here's Sadlier, who's caused problems since coming on, but can't do anything with that one. Yeah, John Taylor's not had that much football, has he? Since joining Rovers, he's made an impact. I think he's just looking over the bench.
He's asking for a little bit more time. I think he's saying, give me 5 minutes. See if I can run it off. 12
minutes of normal time remaining. Rovers 1, Rotherham 1. Sheaf gets it away from Crooks, but then Lindsay got a touch to it. Anderson inside for Whiteman, almost crowded out by 2 Rotherham players, but he gets the ball away to Cameron John. Back to his goalkeeper, Michael Smith, centre half. Centre forward coming on.
Got there in the end,
yeah. Nightmare. Here's Lawler for Rovers. Here is a centre half, Tom Anderson, and the long ball upfield towards Ennis. Richard Wood wins the header. Coppinger does the same for Rovers. Sadlier has space to bring that one down. It's not the best first touch. It almost still works in his favour though. Richard Wood now
pressing
back to the goalkeeper, and again he's not comfortable with the ball at his feet, is he?
Got away with that as well. That's a dive.
Doesn't look to be any contact whatsoever there from Robertson from Sadlier, as Michael Smith, the centre forward, prepares to come on. Carlton Morris will come off. Another big man, Michael Smith.
Yeah, big threat in the air. Imagine this, we're going straight onto his head now.
They like the big centre forwards at Rotherham. They had Kiefer Moore, didn't they?
Yeah.
Last time they were in League One. Matty Blair will now come on.
It is for tails.
Substitution for the Rovers player coming off, sponsored by the hospital shop number 10, John Taylor.
Inevitable. To be fair, there is a couple of applause.
There's a few clapping, yeah. I'd say the majority actually.
Yeah. Nice to see. Nice touch. Nice embrace between John Taylor and Paul Warne there as well. Smith gets his first touch for Rotherham on a Sunday. Now Crooks, right hand side. Wants to go on the outside of Reece James. Gets the ball into the box. Danger for Rovers, away by Anderson. Ola Sunday looks to nod it back into the mix. Cleared by Rovers initially. Wood with a header back towards the edge of the Rovers area. Anderson up there again. Robertson with a header. John just tries to block Smith off, and Lawler's quickly off his line.
Been brilliant, Tom Anderson. Absolutely brilliant.
Wasn't far away from the edge of his own area there, Ian Lawler, as he spun away from Smith. Good ball to find James on. Rovers can look to attack down the left-hand side. Coppinger and Sadlier are there with him in support. Sadlier is the man to collect for Rovers. Blair, Ennis and Coppinger now on the edge of the Rotherham area. He finds Coppinger, who tried to play it back towards Sadlier, but Rotherham won it back, and now, again, Lewis Price is not comfortable with the ball at his feet. And Rovers have it back once more. James to Sadlier. Ennis looked to be offside there, is he? No, he's onside, no flag. Ennis, edge of the area, can he turn it beyond Price? But it was deflected by Wood. Yeah, I thought he was a yard or two.
He's just evening it up from the first half there, the linesman.
Would have been debatable.
He's fuming Wood.
He did look offside.
He looked about 3 yards up.
No flag coming.
Wouldn't have complained if it went in.
No, definitely not. Smith got a glancing header on that. James now plays a 1-2 with Sadlier. Does well to take it away from Ladarpo. Diagonal by Whiteman towards Blair. Nodded down by Robertson, only as far as Coppinger, who just couldn't quite get it beyond Richard Wood. Important interception there from the Rotherham skipper. Anderson's pace is going to be tested here, and he gets his first touch wrong. Concedes a throw-in. And Rotherham now will look to put pressure on Rovers. Mattock with the throw-in. Lindsay gives it him back. Nice touch from Mattock there. And now Robertson. Crooks to Mattock again. The two subs linking up there. Lindsay looks to play it back over the top towards Crooks. It's a heavy hit pass, but Halliday does well and shows that Crooks Can't get the ball into the box. Brad will have played with him at Accrington as well.
Yeah, yeah.
A few connections out there on the field this afternoon. Here's Cameron John for Rovers. 7 minutes or thereabouts of normal time remaining in this South Yorkshire derby at the Keepmoat. Rovers 1, Rotherham 1. Clark Robertson wins that header. Mattock, an experienced player for Rotherham. He's been at the club a long time now. Former Sheffield Wednesday fullback, of course. Good touch from Sheaf. Coppinger. Now Blair. Good ball inside. Sheaf gets it away to Whiteman now. Tries to do it through Ennis. Can he spin on it? Niall Ennis. Good save by Price at his near post. Good football from Rovers. One touch play. Intricacy at its best. Ennis spun on it. And Price got two hands to tip it behind. He loves a bit of a theatrical dive as well.
The one for the cameras, wasn't it?
Can Rovers find a winner then? Coppinger with the corner. Anderson and John forward from the back. Coppinger swings it in right-footed, deep delivery. Anderson's up there. Sheaf, in fact, it was. And Ennis now to Sadlier. Sadlier fires one. Oh, it's just dipping. Too late in the end, but it brushed the top of the goal, didn't it?
Got great technique in those situations, Sads.
If it dips a second or two earlier.
Oh, it's close.
Wow. Lewis Price just watched it go over his head. There's now Lindsay stretching for Rotherham.
Not happy down there about how long he's taking.
No. Ball upfield from Price. Good strong header by Halliday up against Mattock, and Coppinger looks to dig the pass out for the run of Ennis. It just got too much on it. Didn't quite catch it as he wanted to, James Coppinger. Rotherham get the throw in. Time ticking away then. It's that man Coppinger who's got Rovers back on level terms midway through the second half. Firing beyond Lewis Price. Hit the ball into the ground. And that's what did the Rotherham goalkeeper. Mattock with a throw in there. Header from Crooks. Smith with the same, and now a header from James for Rovers. A bit of head tennis going on.
And again.
Now Sheaf brings it down. Coppinger gives it away to Lindsay, who tries the early ball towards Smith. James just, I don't think he quite knew where that ball was going to land. He couldn't quite get his body shape sorted out, but Rotherham give it away anyway. Now Sheaf.
Come on, Blairy. Give it Blairy.
Whiteman pointed towards Blair on this near side. Blair now does get it from Halliday. Bit of room to move into for Matty Blair. In a position Rovers fans have seen him in so often, just like last touch, let him down and invited Robertson in to make an interception. Rovers do get the throw in though.
Cops his feet.
Here's Halliday. On the inside. Whiteman tried the reverse pass towards Blair. He spotted the run from out to in, couldn't quite find him though. Did you see a winner in this, Joe?
Only a Doncaster one. I think Rotherham are quite happy with the point. I think they're trying to take the sting out of it.
We owe them a late goal as well.
We certainly do.
Smith with a touch, cleared by Whiteman. Wood wins the header. Anderson and Sheaf combine to nod it clear for Rovers. Ennis with a nice touch to Coppinger. Blair's on his bike down this right hand side. Coppinger brings it forward, tries the reverse pass to Ennis, who brings it under his spell in the area. Can he go on? What a touch from Ennis. He fires a goal. Penalty! Yes! He's given the penalty to referee. Ennis went down. Rovers get the penalty for a tug on the shirt of Niall Ennis.
Come on, Ben.
Big moment in this match. Paul Warne just looks up to the stand behind him in disbelief, I think. When Ennis got the shot away, there was a pull on the shirt, it looked like from this angle. Cameron John's down on halfway. Ben Whiteman against Lewis Price then. Big moment in this football match. 3 minutes of normal time remaining.
Come on.
Whiteman against Lewis Price. Can Whiteman, the man for the big occasion, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Whiteman, up he steps, in front of the black box, sends it into the bottom corner. The Rovers fans sent into raptures, the bench are the same. Ben Whiteman with a big goal. Rovers 2, Rotherham 1.
I was going to say he did it against Oldham in the cup, but I was just saying quiet.
Same corner, ice cool. Ben Whiteman, big moment, big decision for the referee to make as well. It wasn't an obvious.
No, it wasn't obvious. No complaints though.
No complaints at all. Ben Whiteman with the goal, and now the Rovers fans have got something to really cheer about. 2-1 they lead. Final 2 minutes of the 90. We remain to be seen how long will be added on. There hasn't been too many. There was one with McDonald when he went down. There hasn't been that many stoppages in the second half.
I'd say the only thing that he could add on is Rotherham's time wasted. Yeah. I mean, they'll be hoping that time's not wasted now.
Here's Lindsay though, as Rotherham look for an immediate response. Crooks on the edge of the area, low ball in, deflected into the arms of Lawler. And now Rovers can just breathe and take up a few seconds. Cameron John's struggling, isn't he? And Rovers have made all 3 substitutions.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Whiteman just drops in and makes it a 5. Just to help Cam out, or Chief, should I say, has got experience as well.
Ben Chief knows that position. Coppinger gets a touch there. Ennis can't quite get there in front of Richard Wood. James with the punt upfield. Ennis looks to put the pressure on Ihekwe. Brilliant work from Niall Ennis to stop that from going out for a goal kick.
This is where you just got to, if you can, John, just pull Reece James back. Just say, look, help me out. I'm struggling a little bit here. Just
he's walking on one leg, isn't he?
Yeah, just keep Reece in. Keep that pace alongside you. Just don't let him wander off. And
here's Whiteman then, the man who, as it stands, has got the winner for Rovers. Halliday, long punt upfield. Ennis probably coming back from an offside position, let that roll. Here's Whiteman, edge of the area, can he seal it? Oh, just wide! Just wide of Price's far post. He was scrambling across. Whiteman almost sealed it for Rovers in the final minute of the 90.
Ball boy, what are you doing?
As we await the 4th official's board then, we'll go up in a few seconds. Price eager to get on with it now. 5 minutes. 5 added minutes. Free kick to Rotherham. Ihekwe tries to gain a few yards as well.
Get yourself back now.
Price with this free kick then. Rotherham lumping everybody forward, and this is where the big men could make an impact, isn't it? Big guys up there. Long punt from Price. Anderson rises, glances ahead only into the path of Mattock. Mattock looks to go on the outside of Halliday, who has to stand him up. Mattock's ball in. Ladapo with it cleared by Anderson. Chief clears.
Big Tom
Lindsay
again.
Back up into the air. Coppinger wins the header. Ennis will look to get there first.
Ref will have it. Yes.
Rovers could have countered, but they rather
take the free kick.
As that ball goes in towards Ladapo. You're just praying, aren't you? You're praying he gets it wrong, which he did in the end. James Coppinger gets the man of the match from the sponsors.
Could be for the celebration, that. I'd have given it Big Tom.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
Big Tom been fantastic today. I don't think he's put a foot wrong.
Yeah, if commercial having James Coppinger, I think Tom Anderson might be up for the post-match press conference. Long ball upfield by Lawler. Ennis forces Ihekwe into conceding a throw-in. That'll do. And how much of an impact has he had, Not Ennis, in the second half? Set up Coppinger's goal, won the penalty. He's just been a nuisance, yeah. At half time.
He's pressed them. He's not given them a moment's peace, and that's allowed us to gain territory up the field. It's like you said, assist, won a penalty. It's an excellent performance from Niall.
That ball stays in play on the far side. Ennis lays it off for Whiteman. Looks to just buy a bit of time for Rovers. They've given it away though on that far side. Smith looks to hold it up. Rovers. It was a Rovers sandwich, wasn't it? Sheaf and John linking up to win it back. James finds Sadlier, who keeps it in play. Sadlier
that's not the worst thing in the world.
Can't keep it in play, but he concedes a throw in deep inside the Rotherham half. We've had almost half of the added 5 minutes.
Where's he taking this from, ref?
He's gained about 10 yards there, hasn't he? Referee is now forcing him back. Long throw in from Olasunde, who just gained all those yards back again. Coppinger spins inside, Sheaf to Ennis. Good football from Rovers.
Put in the corner, just put in the corner.
He tried to find Blair, but
I think Blair's got to make he doesn't need to make the run in field, he's got to stay wide.
Rovers do well to just block the forward pass off there. Matic, long ball upfield. Ladapo can't get there. Halliday can. Ennis can. Flag stays down.
Relax.
Position. Coppinger just tells
saying, get in the corner. Just get in the corner.
Sheaf with Crooks at his back. Can he buy Rovers some time with a free kick?
Well done, Sheaf.
Does it with a throw in. 3 minutes gone of the added 5. I thought Matty Blair was going down, claiming a bit of cramp there. He's only been on the pitch 10 minutes, hasn't he? Just
he kills a few seconds.
Referee telling Ben Sheaf to get on with it.
I think
you just got to get bodies in the corner, haven't you? And
I think just tell Niall, get in the corner.
Here it is.
Put your body in the way.
Good play from Ennis, wins the throw in, buys a few more seconds.
How long we got? 1.5.
90 seconds, yeah.
Cops, you get away, Cops. We don't need you in this situation.
He knows how to keep the ball though, doesn't he? Here is James Coppinger in the corner. Tries to roll it away from Matic. Hits against Blair and out for a Rotherham goal kick. A minute or
Keep hold of that ball, stewardess. Keep hold of it.
Don't give it in. Chuck it the other way.
You got a boo.
Claim to fame. Lewis Price then lumps this one upfield. Over halfway. Richard Wood battles with Sheaf, his opposite number. Coppinger tries to get in there.
No, it's the other way.
Less than a minute.
This is going to be it, isn't it?
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Is the keeper going up?
I think he might take it.
I wouldn't have him take it. Well, I would.
No, he's not gonna, is he? Wiles will take this free kick then, just on the edge of the centre circle. Rotherham with everybody bar the kick taker forward. Rovers with everybody back. Wiles towards the edge of the area. Wood wins ahead and nods it down. Lindsay slices his shot all together. Crooks can't keep it in play, and that should just about be that.
Ian Lawler, take your time.
Lawler had gone over to get the ball, and Crooks.
Yeah, just walk back, Lawsy. Just walk back. I think Ben's just saying, look, Lawsy, kick this as far as you can.
5 minutes over.
I think this will be going out for a throw-in.
And there is the
it is.
full-time whistle. It's Derby Day delight for Darren Moore and Rovers, who stretched their unbeaten start to the season for 5 league games for the first time in 24 years. Darren Moore shakes the hand of his backroom staff. What a win, Joe. Character shown again. A goal down at half-time to come back and win again. What more can you say about this team?
It just shows the character, like we've said so many times. I think even the fans can see it. Not at one stage did the crowd go nervous, did the crowd go quiet. I think the character that the boys have shown, Ben Whiteman, nerves of steel. Last 5 minutes to step up and take the pen and be that confident, just to bury it into the bottom corner. Excellent from the boys. Every single man out there. Big Tom Anderson, unbelievable. Can't fault him.
And it's the manager's changes that have made an impact again. It's happened on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
John Taylor coming on, Sterling coming on. Reversed this time around. Ennis coming on at half-time. He got the assist for Coppinger's goal and then was the man to win the penalty. So the decision-making that Darren Moore's got going on, he's getting it right.
Yeah, he's got it spot on. Absolutely spot on. 2 great substitutions. Even Blairy, when he came on, added that energy down the right-hand side. Just for the last few minutes, just to waste a bit of time. I think every single player out there has played a very important role today. Just an excellent win.
Paul Warren once again just stood arms folded, waiting for the referee. Joe, thanks once again for your company.
Pleasure.
I follow, always a pleasure. Another win for Rovers and another 2-1 win, their second in a row at home this season. It's goodbye from us. It's finished here in the South Yorkshire Derby. Rovers 2, Rotherham 1.